everybody, Bree here. It has been exactly 1 week and 2 days since my Sounds Life Feels Life show in Cincinnati, and I didn't think that it would be this hard to make this video, but here I am a week later and I still don't know what to say. I'm still processing it all. It was crazy. So that day, the 26th, it was a Tuesday, I I had gone to bed at like 2 the night before, and I woke up at 4 to get ready. So that was fun. And so we piled into the car. It was me and my 9-year-old cousin. I had gotten her tickets for her for Christmas, this past Christmas, and my dad ended up going with me because the other person that was supposed to go with me wasn't able to go. So my dad came so that I would have another adult to kind of help me watch out for my cousin, which was like super appreciated. And so we left, we dropped my son off at my in-laws, and we were on the road by like 7:30 in the morning. And we got to Cincinnati at 11 something ish. It was like 11:15 or something, I don't know. And so I've been like talking to my friends, and they like some of them had gotten in line at like 4 in the morning at Riverbend, the venue, and they ended up like the people that work there told them to line up in one spot, and then like right before I got there, they had like moved the line, and so the middle of the line was in the front. And so all my friends who were in the front, like had to get security and be like, no, we were here. And like, luckily security, had said, yeah, we remembered you. Yeah, you can go up there. You guys are going to be in the front. We'll take you first. It's fine. And so like they barricaded them in this like little square area. And so I showed up and I'm like, where are you guys? I don't know where I need to go. So I kept walking, and finally I found them, and I like weaseled my way into the little barricaded area, and I met up with everybody. Like I finally got to meet Maddie, and I've been talking to her for months, and so it was really, really great to meet her. I got to meet Chas, and I met up with some other people. And so we got kind of organized, and it was like 90 degrees outside, and it was so humid, and it was supposed to rain all day, but it hadn't yet. It was just hot. So got all my stuff out, handed out some of my supplies to some of my team members. And I was like, have we walked the line yet? Does everybody have signs? Let's go get signs. So we had to ask permission to get out of our little barricaded square that was the front of the line to see if we could go and give out signs. And luckily, the girl that was like managing the line, she was like, yeah, I remember what you look like. I'll let you back in. It's not a problem. Go hand out your signs. Not an issue at all. So I get out there and I have a big stack of signs, and I'm like, who needs posters? I have markers. And everyone was really great in line. They were really super like excited about the project, and a whole lot of people had heard about it, which I was really excited about, because I was like, I don't want to have to like explain this to people, but I was like, worldwide project, and they were like, yes. And people were so excited. They all wanted to like show me their signs, and there were like some really cute ones, and some funny ones, and some really like emotional ones. And I kept hugging people, and they were just so grateful that I had these signs. And so it was like really super uplifting, like just from the beginning, to see something that you've been working on for months, and then all of a sudden, it's here, it's happening, this is real life. You get to make all these connections with people, and people are so excited to see you. And I had been using my personal Twitter to help promote, and so people knew like who I was, and they're like, we follow you and you're great. And I had made a whole big deal about my shirt. My shirt said "Let's Play Titanic" on it, so people could find me, and we all laughed about it. And it was just a really great experience. So I get to the end of like that line, and someone came and found me and said, hey, they're getting ready to open the doors. You got to get back up there. So I sprint back up to the beginning of the line. I talk to the lady. I'm like, let me back in, please. And she's like, yes, I remember you. Go ahead. And I have my, bless my like 9-year-old cousin. She was with me, and she was helping me pass posters out. And she was so scared to like go up to people at first, but then like halfway through it, like she was great, and she was handing out posters and talking to people, and everybody that saw that she was the cutest thing. amazing. And it was so great to like give her that experience to like socialize and like see, like what a few good people can, do when they work together. So we got it back to the line and they opened it and they let like 20 or 30 people through it first, and my dad was still like parking the car, and I was like, crap, like he's not gonna be able to come in. What do I do? So I go and I stand down there and I call him and I'm like, hey, they let us pass the gate, we're in line, to get our actual tickets for sound check. You're like, where are you at? He's like, I'm at this gate, where are you? I'm like, I'm on the other side of the gate, like let you through. So he goes up and he talks to security and he's like, my daughter is down there already, she has my ticket, you let me through. And they were like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, tell them to turn around, I'm waving at you. So like I have him on speakerphone and he's like, she's right there. And so I like start like waving, and finally they let him through, but they weren't gonna let him through and I was freaking out. And so we had to leave all of our signs outside. Maddie had 3,000 signs, and I had like a box full of 1,000. I had put about 250 signs like in my bag. I stashed them, and Andrea had a few stashed, and Maddie had a few stashed in her bag, but we had to leave our boxes out there. And right as we got our tickets to go into, like our venue has 2 pavilions, so they had the smaller pavilion set aside for us to sit in to wait for sound check to start, because it was supposed to like torrential downpour. And so as soon as I like checked in and got my ticket and my badge, like the heavens opened up and just started to completely shit on everything. People were soaked. It was bad. So we go and we sit down in this pavilion, and they sit us in order, and whenever sound check was supposed to start, they were gonna have us go over like in order to this other pavilion where the concert actually was, where all the instruments and everything were set up for sound check. So we're sitting there and, we're just kind of socializing, and people keep coming in and it's just downpouring, and like some more of my friends show up and they're completely soaked, and they're like, we hit our signs. I had them in my bag, and the security guy was like, what is this? And I'm like, it's paper. And they're like, nothing's bigger than a printer sized piece of paper. I'm like, no, it's all in regulation, like it's fine. So I thought that he was going to take my 250 signs, and I was freaking out because I didn't know if we were going to get our other signs back before the show. I didn't know if other people were going to find them. We sent out like a huge message into all of our group chats, like, our signs are out here. If you see them, please take them. Please pass them out. Do something. We couldn't take them in. Help. It's raining. I don't even know if they've turned into Worldwide Project soup at this point. I don't know what's happening. I just know that they're there. Please get them. Luckily, people found them. They passed a couple of them out. After it had stopped raining at like 3:15, and we were supposed to go into sound check at 3:30, I had gone up to one of the people handing out the soundcheck lanyards, and hey, I have all these signs out here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to take them in. Would it be okay if I got them and brought them in so I could hand them out? And she was like, yes, I'll even walk with you so you don't have trouble getting back past security. Let's go. It'll be fine. So we walk outside, and by some fucking miracle, every single one of our signs had been put under an umbrella and they were dry. The wind didn't blow them away. The rain did not turn them into mush. They were completely bone dry, like ready to go. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. She's like, is this what you were talking about? I'm like, yes. She's like, well, grab it and let's go real quick. Because she had heard over her radio that they were getting everybody back in their seats so they could take us all in order over to the other pavilion for sound check. Like, okay. So I grabbed this bin, because I grabbed Maddie's bin because it was the biggest bin. And she had 3,000 signs in there. It was like awesome. So I grabbed this bin and we turn around, and like the supervisor in charge of security was like, if you're not a part of Live Nation, you can't hand out flyers. That's against our rules. I'm like, they're not flyers, they're signs for a fan project. And she's like, it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to solicit other people's info. Like, you can't do that. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, I just came out here. She said this was fine. It's just for a fan project. And she wouldn't let me take the signs. I was so pissed. Like, I was like, we worked so hard and we spent so much money on all of this. Damn it. I hate Riverbend. Never go to Riverbend if you're in Ohio. They're just shit. They're awful. All right, that's my angst for a minute. So I'm sorry. I walked back in there, and I talked to the girls, and I was like, they wouldn't let me take them. One of them said yes, and then her supervisor was like, no, you can't do that. So we got back in the group message, and we're like, the signs survived the rain. They're sitting here. I put them in this spot. Please, like, come get them if you haven't gotten anything already. Come get them. This is where they're at. I hope it goes well because we have like 500 signs between like 6 of us. We're gonna do what we can. So we go over and we have sound check, and it was awesome. And there was a thing with a hot dog. It's in the tour video. It was it's 5 sauce being 5 sauce. And so we get out of sound check, and we got merch, and we went to go get something to eat, and we came back into like the pavilion they originally had us sitting in, holding us from the rain. We just kind of hung out for a while, and we were like, how many signs do we have? We tried to get in our group chats to see if anybody had picked up signs. They said they had been handing them out in line. A couple people had stashed some so that they could hand them out once they got inside. The problem was a lot of the people that had found them had been on the lawn. So it's like an outdoor venue, and so they have like a pavilion and the lawn, and like you can't see the lawn as well from the stage. So we were hoping that we could take all the signs in and just give one to every single person in the pavilion, so the whole pavilion would be filled up. Obviously, that plan kind of went to crap. Oh well, like we got through it. Whatever. So the doors opened at 6, and about 6:30, the rest of us that were sitting in the other pavilion went over to the main pavilion. Met up with the rest of our friends, said, hey, do you have any signs stashed? Yes, okay, cool. We need to figure out what to do. So all of us were sitting in different sections in the pavilion, so we all kind of took a stack of like what we had. And we just like handed them out to our sections. So we didn't get it as full as like we wanted, but like a lot of people brought their own, which was really cool. And like I don't know what the experience was for the other girls on my team that were helping, but for me, like I just turned around and I was like, once one person saw that I had them, like for like 7 rows, just everyone was like, oh, me, I need one. And so I walked around, I got my markers, and I asked people, I was like, hey, do you mind if I take your picture? I want to put it up on our Twitter. This is awesome. And people were writing some really cool things. People were saying stuff about their sexual orientation and like how inspired they were and how proud they were to be in the fam and how this was such a great project and it was so meaningful, to them. And of course, there are always people that, want to put like a joke on it or not take it as seriously, which is fine. It's just really cool when you have people that are willing to open up and like be serious for a minute and get the real meaning of the project. And like everyone was so nice and everyone was sharing their markers and they all like, everyone made a joke about like tossing them back to me and people were giving me hugs and saying it was so great. Because they had heard about the project online, but they weren't able to like print. They didn't think they were going to participate, and they thought it was really moving. And just like the overall impression from every single person that I talked to was just so overwhelmingly like inspired and in love and like in awe that we were doing this and that they got a chance to like witness it. And so it was so great. And so Hey Violet came on and I was like dying at that point. So I left. I'm sorry. Hey Violet's great, but like it was so hot. It was like 92 degrees and it was that like after rain mugginess. So I went to get an icy and I came back just in time for 1OK Rock's set, and they were really great. They were like super awesome. I didn't like them that much until I saw them perform, but now I'm just trash. Whatever. So like 8:40 rolls around and like all of a sudden they uncover the drums, but I knew that like the screens would turn pink. They hadn't turned pink yet, and then all of a sudden they turned pink and I was like, and all the crowd started to get hype, and then all the lights went off and they came out. I was just like, yes, finally, like this is what all of this has been waiting for. And like I had in my mind like about where Jet Blackheart was in the set list, but I wasn't, you get so hyped that you forget like things. So I was like, oh my god, like is it next? Is it coming? When is it happening? We had another project at my show during Outer Space, and like quite a few people had signs for that, and I was like, oh no, like what if the Worldwide Project doesn't work as well? What are we gonna do? I don't know. So then all of a sudden, all the guys walked off stage, and I was like, this is it, it's happening. And I was the very first person to hold up my sign, like even before Mike came back out, even before the blue lights came on, even before anything. I just had my sign up there. I was recording, and so Mike came back out on stage, and he comes up to the mic, and he starts strumming the chords, and he's like, all right, Cincinnati, let's see if you can sing. And so he did the woes, and we just screamed, and like this whole time, like my arm is completely numb, like I'm shaking, I cannot breathe, like I felt like I was gonna pass out. And so we're just screaming, and I look around, and one by one signs start going up. And that, I swear to God, was the most magical moment of my life to this point in my life. Um, it was just so many months of just conversation and planning and like printing and driving everybody I know crazy, trying to make this come together. And I honestly, because of the rain that we had, we weren't able to do the meetups because no one wanted to go out in it. And because of, them not letting us take our signs in and not knowing what was going to happen, I was like, this isn't going to work. Like, I really doubted it. And I was really bummed for like a lot of the day. But then I just turned around, um, before he started the song, while everyone was just screaming their lungs out. I just see one sign after another go up, 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 up. And I started bawling like a baby, and I was like, please just let this not be in my recording. Like, I hope that everyone is screaming loud enough that you cannot hear me sobbing like a small child. Because I was so happy. Like, I didn't even, and I've seen Jet Blackheart, videos, but like just hearing it live finally, because they didn't start playing it live until like 3 dates after my Rock Out With Your Sock Out show last year. So I was like, I need this song. Like, I have it tattooed on my body. This is kind of everything right now. I am so sorry about my phone going off. And to just see the signs and to know that I helped make that happen and that I had a part in making that possible, and uniting so many people and bringing forth pride and a sense of accomplishment and together is just one of seriously the greatest things that I've ever had the pleasure of doing. And like, as much work as it was, and like as many like fights as I got in over like doing this project, like my parents and Josh, and like it was so worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I literally, like, I didn't even care that Five Sauce was playing like for the rest of the show. I didn't even, like, I was like, I could die happy now because this worked. And like, it wasn't as good as it could have been had we been able to bring all of our signs in and hand all of our signs out. But I've said from the beginning, if there's even one person that we touched that this means something to, then it was worth it. And so to just see hundreds of people participating and able, and I know there were so many people that wanted signs, but we just ran out, because we only had a couple hundred between the couple of us to pass out that we were able to sneak in. And like, I was just so happy. I'm so happy that I got to do this. I think it's so cool that you can make a difference. I've been rambling for way too long, so I'm going to wrap this up here. But I just want to say thank you to every single one of the people on the main team of the Worldwide Project. Thank you guys for giving me a chance to participate in this. Thank you for always having faith in my ability to help organize this for the Cincinnati show and make this possible in Ohio. I'm forever grateful. I am forever, I don't know. I don't have any words left. I'm just thank you. Just thank you for all of this. I can't wait until Worldwide Project 2.0. Bye guys.